Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
These are Dark Holes I fell into this week, guys. We got Pikachu was almost a tabby cat with huge naturals. The world is continuously throwing curveballs at us of alternate timelines that we could have been living in, especially with Pokemon. We've touched on Pokemon. We touched on Pokemon like episode 3, when Typhlosion was considered a sex offender. Now we learn again that the people at the Pokemon Company are perverts. They're perverts over there, guys. And no surprise, you see what they're doing. They're probably commissioning that hentai themselves. Then we got Popeye is on coke. All right. So there's a recent interview with a former CEO or head of like Paramount or something, and they asked him what was the most coked out film set he had ever been on, and he references Popeye. He says Popeye was for sure the most coked out one. And then for write-ins this week, we have some of the most insane write-ins. I don't know which one's going to be the title one. Well, here's a good one right here. Someone says, here's one. I bought K from the drug dealer that killed Mathew Perry. Okay, wow. Okay, that's juicy. My ex-roommate, the dominatrix, was Jewish. She pegged me while choking me with a Nazi belt. Okay, and you might be going, fake, right? Followed up and I got some details on that one. Messaged me for the full story. Just found out my buddy and his dad been having threesomes. Okay. And then this last one is not as crazy. Tinder girl offered to suck my toes. Do I take her up on it? Huh? But yeah, the write-ins this week are absolutely fucking insane. All today on Dark Holes. All right, guys. Well, I got something stuck in my throat. Okay, I think we're good. Pikachu was almost a tabby cat with huge naturals. So this was a story that dropped recently. There was an interview with, what's this guy's name? Itsunukaze Ishihara, which I believe is the CEO of the Pokemon Company, or was the CEO of the Pokemon Company, or some sort of shit. He's attached to the Pokemon Company in some way, shape, or form. And basically, he said when they were thinking about bringing Pokemon over to the West, not when they were thinking, when they're getting ready, they're gearing up. They were looking at their roster, they were looking at the people, they were looking at the show they had running in Japan, and they were going, okay, how do we make this appealing to a Western audience? And they go, okay, we got Pikachu. He's real cute. He's real nice. He's cuddly. You put him on a plushie. He's going to be a future Squishmallow. And they went, what's a Squishmallow? And they went, shh. You don't need to know shit about that. But anyways, they go, what if he's too cute and cuddly? The Americans, they like aggression. They like violence. They like sexuality. So they started pitching some different ideas of what Pikachu could possibly look like. A couple of them were him like a lot more muscular, a lot beefier. Your companion was this little beefy jack dude. Look at how big and strong this guy is. Then they were like, what if he looks a little cooler? Maybe we throw some sunglasses on him. What if he's he's like a rodent or something? I think Pikachu. I think he's an electric rodent is his classification. He's kind of like an electric capybara is probably the closest thing you could relate him to, because capybaras are quite large, but a capybara that can shoot lightning. That's what we need to do. We need to catch a capybara, spray paint it like Pikachu. That is real life Pikachu mascot stuff, dude. Yeah, that's what they need to brand, because they do have those capybara cafes in Japan. They need to just start decorating these fuckers like Pokemon. Like the little, like a Rattata, and like the rodent-based Pokemon, which there are quite a few. But anyways, another version was apparently a tabby cat. So like a cat similar as to what you would get from the movie Cats, surprisingly. And just walking out there, but very sexual. Apparently some pretty large tits on it. Someone they were showing this Itsunuze Kaza, these different mock-ups of these different characters, and one of them was this one with these big fat tits. And he looked at it and he said, no fucking way, dog. No fucking way. But like I said, there is a timeline where he saw that and he went, that's a great idea. And we're living in the fat tit Pikachu future, which would Pokemon have been as popular? It would have been controversial for sure. I think that it seems like the cute characters stood this test of time, but anytime you tried to like teenify someone, which I'm not saying putting fat tits on something is teenifying it. I'm saying it makes it more appealing to teens. Putting fat tits on something does make it more appealing to teens. So something like Sonic. Sonic was teenifying something. It was like, what if he's angsty? Ugh. But yeah, putting tits on things like the Transformer movies. They were like, let's throw Megan Fox in here. And that one scientist chick who they never bring up, who was actually super hot. If you rewatch Transformers 1, you're like, oh yeah, there's a ton of fucking babes in this movie. They just laced it with babes. Yeah, so you put tits on stuff to make it more appealing to like a teenage audience. But here's the problem of trying to appeal to teenagers. Is teenagers, the shit you usually are into as a teenager, I think except for music. Usually in your teen years is when you really get into music, and then you kind of carry that into your 20s and define your musical taste. But in terms of like fashion, and in terms of like, I guess, representation, things you enjoy, media, things like that, the teen time, it lives and dies in that time. You don't take those things outside of that time. Maybe a couple of things. Like with the things that, no, because I'm thinking, I was going to say like maybe anime, but I started watching anime younger. I was watching anime as a kid, and then I carried it through teen time into adult time. But when you're a teenager, you don't do any, like, everything you do as a teenager, you look back, like how you dressed. Oh my God, fucking, at prom, I had a mohawk, dude. Are you serious? I look like a fucking jackass. Everyone right now pictures themselves as a teenager, and you think about those images being blasted all over the internet, you're like, yeah, I looked like an asshole. I looked like I should have been bullied. Maybe I was bullied, and if I wasn't, maybe I deserved to be bullied. So I think you can't, but the stuff you like as a kid. So if they send you like, okay, here's this cute little Pokemon Pikachu guy, we're gonna send you him as a kid. Then you maybe fall out of it as a teenager because you go, that's not cool anymore. And then once you get to like your mid-20s, then you start being like, hey, Pikachu and that shit, I want to pick up. I played Pokemon when I was a kid. I want to play fucking Pokemon again. Then you you miss your childhood because now you're working, you got to pay taxes, and your life is starting to get into realness, and there's a certain level of misery there, and then that's when you start getting to the point where you start to romanticize your past, and you go, okay, now Pikachu's cool again. So keeping him cool and young, they kept Mario cool young, appealing to the young crew. That's better. Sonic still is around, but I feel like someone needs to put a bullet in Sonic's head. Every time Sonic comes around, he's like, oh, we got to go fast. And he's just like hanging out. I just want to see them. I want the third Sonic movie. Did that already come out? I want that to end with Dr. Robotnik putting a revolver on the back of Sonic's head and just blowing his head off in front of the whole. I want it to be a scene after the credits. That's the scene after the credits of the Sonic movie. All the kids are excited. They got like their Sonic buckets with the popcorn. They got some kids are cosplaying Sonic. You got all those autistic like adults who still like Sonic. There's some furry who's doing full furry Sonic. And they go, oh cool, there's a scene after the credits. Woo! And then it's like just Dr. Robotnik just putting a revolver on his head, just and then it's just silent. And he's just like, puts the revolver like back into a holster, and he like wipes his hand off with like a dishcloth that he pulled off of the stove, because he's in Sonic's home. And then he just like walks out, and you hear like he leaves, and it's just it's slowly panning out. The shot is slowly panning out and just centered on Sonic's dead, lifeless body. And you can hear Dr. Robotnik like walking, and then he leaves, and then that's it. There's no music, no anything. You can just hear like the creaking and noises of just a house being empty, and then in the distance you hear like the sirens, woo, and then it just cuts to black and keeps running the credits, and then they play the audio of the cops arriving. It's all happening. You can't see it. You have to now just picture it in your mind. You can just hear the cops walking in and being like, Jesus Christ, oh my God, get a paramedic in here, jeez, what the fuck happened? Sure, there's a shot. We gotta get some people out on the streets, and it's just all just, the the audio never leaves that room. And then maybe like someone comes home, what's going on? Sonic? Sonic! Who did this? There's only one person I know who could have done this. There's only one person I know. That's how I want the Sonic series to end. But this picture of the tabby cat Pikachu with fat tits, this exists somewhere. And deep within the Pokemon vaults, they've kept this thing hidden in secret. So that, without a doubt, needs to be the next National Treasure movie. That's how, dude, if we took up arms, like say World War III actually happens. There's not a lot of motivations to get myself suited up and blasting people. I'm not really interested in that. I don't have the body for that. I don't have the goal for that. I've never killed a man. I kind of want to keep it that way, you know? There is something intriguing about murder, but is it worth it? I don't know. It's better just to sit on the couch and play video games and eat like chocolate chips or something. But let's say there's no choice. Everyone from like 60 to 18, they go 16 to 60. 16 to 60, you're all going to war because this is the big one. This is the biggest one we've ever had. We got nukes flying in the sky. We're blowing up nukes in the middle of the sky. We're dropping EMPs. People are eating each other in the street. There's going to be no water. There's going to be no sunlight. We're blotting out the sun with some weird gas and shit like that. Like, it's getting real squirrely out there. Then a motivator for me would be like, if we attack Japan, then I could potentially, like, I'm going looting. That is one of the spoilers. The first part of war, what is it? Pillage. That's the second part. It's and pillage. We won't do the first part. The first part, the R word, no, we're staying away from that. That's bad news bears. That's bad for the karma. That's bad for your soul. That's bad for your mental health. That's bad, and also morally, of course. Don't forget the moral. Morals actually first. I did them in reverse order. Morally, horrible. But it's just we're not doing that part. The pillaging, going to the fucking Pokemon company's office and then just raiding the cabinets and trying to find this. Dude, imagine we win this beautiful World War III and you come over to my place and you go, yo, what the fuck is that? And it's framed. It's in my living room. I go, that wouldn't be in my fucking living room. That'd be in a seat. Like, once you've earned my trust, we've been friends. In this scenario, we've been friends for 15 years. And I trust you with my life, dude. And we were at war together, and I know them like, this is a serious motherfucker. And I know you got some spoils and stuff too. And I go, you want to see what I got? And you go, what that? I go, that was in Itsunukaze Ishihara's office. It's one of the mock-ups for Pikachu that they didn't put out. It was him with fat tits. And they go, whoa! Yeah, I got that. I rated that right from his fucking office, dude. I took off on my own. I got that. Like, yo! That would be worth it, guys. That would be pretty worth it, I think. I think it would be. I think that would be one of the fucking greatest spoils you could ever get in a wartime setting. All right, guys. Let's get. I don't know if I have much more else to say about these big fat tits. Oh yeah, I did want to say that if we do get the big old World War III and it busts out, the technology we're going to see is going to be crazy. Because right now, everyone thinks Japan doesn't have an army. But they might just be like, activate Gundam. And it's like the shit that would be fucking awesome, dude. I mean, not awesome. It would be terrifying. I'd probably get like eviscerated. Have you seen that new... Do you guys see the new... what's it called? What are these things called? Mosquito. There's a new mosquito trap out of China. You set it up, it sees the mosquito, shoots a laser at it, fries the mosquito in the middle of the air. No more chasing these fuckers around, dude. It's like, it shoots a laser, dog, that fries the fucker. What? The future is now, bro. But those lasers could be frying human beings soon. You're telling me they built a little home one that you can make and fry the mosquitoes? You're telling me they don't have the one that can fry the human. Oh, they could fry you, dude, right from a satellite. Shoot a beam down, Hammer of Dawn, like in God of War. You're going to be dust, dog. You can't. That's why it's like, get the farm, dude. Go build your farm out in the middle of nowhere and just be left alone because whatever, the technology they have now is terrifying. Okay, guys, what's going on with me? Guys, remember, you can get the Gas Digital exclusive episode. Just use offer code CHE, and you can get all the Gas Digital stuff over there. You get an extra episode. You get all the Gas Digital content, all the things. Follow me, you fucking idiots. Guys, make sure you are following the pod. If you haven't hit the follow button, hit the follow button to follow the pod. We have our 5-star review of the week. I really enjoyed the sickness and debauchery of this pod. 5 stars. Oh, we didn't watch our palate cleanser. Hold on. Let's go back. It's palate cleanser time. Oh, my balls need to be cleansed. Oh, yeah, this guy doing a backflip. Oh, Jesus.
Right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for
Okay.
a family of 4. We've got millions.
Okay. I've never understood how someone doesn't know that they can't do a backflip. How do you set up the camera? Let's see this one more time. I'm going to mute this. Let's see this one more time. We just got to fucking... Yo, right on his neck and back of his head. Like you're done. Like it's done. The amount of damage you just did to spine, neck, brain, all in one go is astronomical, dude. You don't have any. The thing is, you don't have to do that ever. You never had to do that. Was this going to be a life-changing backflip? I mean, it might have been. Looking at the type of tropical plants. No, this is a really nice paved sort of patio in a backyard. I was gonna say this place is too tropical to be to not be able to get life-changing money from a backflip. That's one thing I think about. I'm like, if you start if you have like a Patreon, if you're running like OnlyFans, but you live in like, I don't know, where's the place where the dollar sucks? Like Mozambique. Like, does the OnlyFans from Mozambique make it here and then you're making American cash? Like 20 grand American in Mozambique? That's got to go a long way out there, dude. But yeah, don't do backflips, guys. Bad for your neck. Anyways, well, let's get back to what's going on with me. Okay, yeah, the 5-star review of the week. I really enjoyed the sickness and debauchery of the pod. 5 stars. Of course, the new podcast launch. You can check out Two Goons. We're on all platforms. That one is actually cooking right now. Yeah, the clips are going crazy, dude. 5-5 challenge. Okay, so I've been in the gym, the best I've been in the gym in a very long time. Probably since I moved to New York. Ever since I moved to New York, I have been just like traveling and busy and traveling, and like I haven't been able to give like the necessary time to like taking care of myself. But this past month, I have been in the gym very, very consistent, and I'm feeling very good, and I'm feeling very lean. I'm feeling good all around, you little sluts. So yeah, that's really good. I didn't drink at all last week. I didn't nicotine at all last week. I didn't eat gluten at all. Oh no, I did eat gluten last week. And a caffeine. You can see there's no caffeine here today. We are cutting out the caffeine, guys. I'm sure it'll come back because I've made this promise before and I've always fallen short on it, but I'm sure it will come back. But we are going to cut out the caffeine, at least for a little bit, because it has become not a problem, but like I get like, oh, I'm getting sleepy, I'm getting tired, I'm not really having a good time, I'm just feeling like a little worn out. And so I don't want that anymore. I do not want to feel like drained and shitty throughout the day. And I think it's directly connected to the caffeine because I'm just feeling this up and then this crash and then I'm just feeling like hazy. Where before when I wasn't drinking the caffeine, when I did take a break from caffeine, I was like, oh, I don't know if I've ever felt this sharp and good. And so it's just like, I just don't need it. We're just going to get rid of it. Been practicing the Spanish like crazy. Me and Cam streaming. So we've been streaming a ton. We're back on Peak, dude. So Peak has been releasing new content. They released the Mesa area, which is like all like westerny desert. Oh, I actually got to send out a clip from that as well. But yeah, that's what me and Cam been on quite a bit, and that has been super, super, super fucking fun. Let's get to some tour dates, guys. We got Denver, Colorado, August 21st to 23rd, Los Angeles, California, August 24th, Appleton, Wisconsin, September 5th to 6th, Toronto, September 20th, Pittsburgh, October 3rd to 4th. La Jolla, California, October 17th to 19th. Skankfest, November 14th to 16th. Winnipeg, November 20th to 22nd. Charlotte, North Carolina, November 28th to 30th. Chicago, Illinois, December 5th to 6th. Albuquerque, New Mexico, December 12th to 13th. Get all your tickets at chedurena.com. All right, guys, let's get to a little bit of Popeye on the cocaine, dude. So if you guys don't know, Popeye was a movie with, well, it didn't start as a movie. Popeye was, of course, the famous, we're not talking like Popeye's Chicken, in case anyone was confused as fuck. The Popeye's Chicken movie, although would love to see what the fuck the Popeye's Chicken movie is. You make me a Popeye's Chicken movie? What is it, about the founding of Popeyes? Is it about some sort of like, actually, we don't want a foundings of Popeyes movie. We want like a Harold and Kumar went to White Castle, dude. Which, honestly, is one of the biggest, like that movie is one gigantic commercial. Like White Castle for sure paid for that movie. And it's a hilarious movie. But they have White Castle in the title. I didn't even know what the fuck White Castle was before Harold and Kumar. We don't really have White Castle in Canada. We might have it in some places, but I've never ever been to White Castle. But they just did an ad. And so let's do that again. Let's do a Jimbo and Jimbei go to Popeyes. And it's an adventure, little rom-com thing going on. There was battle shits. There was poop jokes. There was fart jokes. There was sex jokes. People were smoking weed. People were having sex with weed. It was great. We need to bring that back, dude. Okay, but yeah, Popeye, the Sailor Man, was a movie with Robin Williams. And he had to re-record a ton of his lines for this movie. Like he really, because the entire time he has like a fucking, whatever that corn cob, whatever. He has the pipe. He has a pipe in his mouth the entire movie, and he's like, "Rrr, rrr, rrr, rrr." He's speaking with his like, his little like Popeye accent, and has his like one eye closed. And so they had to re-record some of his lines. So in the movie, a bunch of times it sounds like he's talking, but he's not. Like you can tell it was recorded in a booth. The movie's shit from what I've heard. Let's actually check the IMDb on this thing. Popeye movie. It was in the 1980s. Yeah, Popeye. It's almost 2 hours long, an hour 54. This is Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall, of course, famous from The Shining. Yeah, this is a 5.4 on IMDb, 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 5.4 on Prime Video. So reviewed pretty fucking shit. Who is everyone from this movie dead? Robin Williams dead. Shelley Duvall dead. Who's Paul L. Smith? He plays Bluto. This guy's got to be dead. Yeah, he died in 2012. Dude, Paul Dooley, are you dead? Paul Dooley's still alive, dude. Holy shit. Paul Dooley is 97 years old, still kicking. Paul Dooley outlived all you fucks, dog. What about Linda Hunt? Linda Hunt dead as shit, dude. Peter Bray. I don't know who any of these people are. Peter Bray, and then we're not getting a birth or date on this motherfucker. Peter Bray, I'm going to say dead. Wesley Hurt. Oh, no, Wesley Hurt seems like he's alive too, dude. Okay, a couple of these motherfuckers. Oh, wait, no, is Wesley Hurt? Let me see. Known for Popeye. No, yeah, he's only 46 years old. He was a kid in this movie, dude. He was just a little boy. But yeah, a lot of the main cast of this movie's dead. The Popeye curse, dog. Or it's just that it was a movie made in the 80s and time goes on. I guess this is now like 50 years ago. This is 55 years ago. Of course all these fuckers are dead, dude. You can't be alive that long. You gotta die, dude. You gotta die. But yeah, okay, let's get to this little interview with this dude. He's talking about Popeye on coke. So this was the Barry Diller, who was the former head of Paramount. That he was asked about what was the most coked out movie set he ever went on. Let's go.
Most coked up film set.
Coked up film set?
Yeah.
Oh, Popeye. No, you can watch. By the way, you can watch it. If you watch Popeye, you're watching a movie that you think of it in the thing they used to do about record speeds, 33, whatever. This is a movie that runs at 78 RPM and 33 speed. It is a coke.
You visited the set, and
I did,
and you would instantly knew everybody's coked up.
You knew it. You couldn't escape it. They were actually They were actually shipping in film cans at the time. That film cans would be sent back to L.A. for daily processing the film. This was shot in Malta. And we found out that the film cans were actually being used to ship cocaine back and forth to this set.
Wow.
Jesus.
Everyone was stoned.
Thanks. Anybody else want a pod ticket? Oh, the day's funny. Hey!
Exclaims.
Nobody home?
Robin Williams apparently a big coke guy too.
No, keep the change.
Jesus. Good for you, Robbie. Dude, yeah, he was apparently a huge coke guy. So the big thing with Robin Williams, too, is that he apparently would steal a ton of jokes. That was what people would say about him, is he stole jokes, and he also, did a ton of coke, dude. But yeah, him and the director on this movie got into a ton of fights, too, because they were clashing over how you were supposed to do the movie. And Robin Williams was, a big improviser, so he was, doing his own shit the entire time, but he was also you can imagine the tension on set if everyone's just fucking ripped on coke. And this is why not everyone, a lot of people want to get into movies and stuff now. They're like, I want to be an actor, I want to do this, da, 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 da. You don't want to get into an industry that's already budded and is all buttoned up now. Because this doesn't exist anymore. They were transporting cocaine in the film canisters. That kind of shit isn't going to you. An entire movie set is coked up, dude. That doesn't exist anymore. That's a specifically 80s experience when the movie industry didn't have the eyeballs on it like it does now. You want to find what's a fun, budding, unknown, crypto or something. Get in a crypto party. We already saw it. That Sam Bankman-Altman, whatever the fuck. They were having big orgies and shit. That's where you're gonna find. Don't do the scamming part where a bunch of people lose money and then they try to kill you or whatever. Don't do that part. But if you really want to find where the good times are at, they're not gonna be in the developed industries. You need to go into a developing industry that looks like it's going to be fun. The people who were doing movies and stuff back then, they were risking it big time. Back in the dude, yeah, it would have been cool to be a movie star and stuff like that, but way less people were making it through. And on top of that shit, you could actually get a regular night. You could be a guy replacing fucking windshields or a mechanic or an HVAC dude. You could have just done that shit and just sort of skated by and got your pension and then just chilled out and had a home and paid it off. That was all super doable. Now it's a little bit impossible, and I don't know, we're going to end up in the streets killing each other. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to end up doing? But back then, it was a way. Not only was it riskier to do it, but the other option was so good. Now, to become a content creator or a streamer or something like that, yeah, that almost is a smarter thing to do than to get in bed with a major corporation, because it seems like they're shutting down and firing people and taking away your economic rights constantly. Nah, that's no fun. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. But yeah, if you want to do coke on in the biz, you got to find a different way to trailblaze it. Okay, hold on. We got to reset the cams. All right, guys. We are back. Palette cleanser. Before we get into our write-ins here. Okay. These guys. Okay, these car meetups. Look on the hood. Crazy. There's so many things I have to analyze about this video. This guy who's out the window, is he holding a camera? Hold on, let me mute this because I gotta watch this one more time. Because the dude who's hanging out of the window, Is he what is he signaling like back up, back up? I don't know what I don't think he is signaling back up. I think he's kind of being like sick, sick. And he like he you guys just almost ran over like 8 people and they're like kind of like, yo, crazy, right? But yeah, I don't understand these car meetups. Hold on. I've seen many of them. I have seen many of these videos, and it seems like maybe they don't post the ones that maybe a bunch of them go well, and I just don't see the ones that they post that go really well. Because it seems like every time they do them, that someone just gets hit and then their pants fly off. This one was sick as fuck. Because a guy almost got hit and he did like that Spider-Man jump on the hood. For the audio only listener, it's one of those car meetup things where they're doing the donuts in the middle like crazy, and so he's like swinging through on doing the donut in his car or whatever. This is like a Mustang something, and there's a dude standing on the side who like jumps on the hood of the car and then jumps off as it's swinging by to prevent himself from getting run over by this car, which is cool as hell, dude. Cool as fucking hell. But also, I don't get why. I mean, I don't give a fuck about cars. Maybe it's because I don't give a shit about cars at all. Like, give me a whatever. What, a Prius? What's just like what's the most regular, a Toyota Corolla? Give me a fucking. I don't know. I don't even know cars, dude. I don't even know cars. A regular ass sedan ass motherfucker. I don't give a shit about cars, bro. They're good. They're useful tools. They get you to where you need to go. But the dude Spider-Manning is kind of the greatest fucking part of that whole thing. Totally, dude. But I don't get, like, if someone was like, hey, do you want to go to one of these? Maybe I would say yes, but I definitely wouldn't be standing on the edge. I'd be like, I've seen this video, and it ends with me launched in the sky, and for whatever reason, my pants come off. Their pants always come off, dude. I couldn't tell you why that part happens. Okay, let's get into Ride-In Time. Where do we start, guys? Where do we start? Oh, can I move this one up? Or can I shrink it down? Oh, because this one's like cut off. No. How do I make it so you're not cut off, dude? What? Oh, I could shrink you. Yes. Okay, that one's not cut off anymore. All right, let's start with this one. Here's one. I bought K from the drug dealer that killed Mathew Perry. Whoa. I mean, let's be fair. From what I understand from the story of Mathew Perry, of course, Mathew Perry famous from Friends. After that was apparently a big booze hound and drug guy, was the first of the friends to die. Now, I did talk about this with a buddy. Who will be the last of the friends to die? It will not be Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston will. I don't think she'll die next, but she's not making it to the end, dude. There's no way. You'd think Jenny with all the money, Jenny from the block with all the cash from the friends and all the Botox and all the surgeries and all stuff, you think she would be able to climb her way all the way to the finish line. But I say nay, dude. I say nay on this. What I say, good chance of Joey. I think Joey. Wait, who are all the ones? You got Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox is going to die next. Courtney Cox is going to die in a plastic surgery accident. That's how she's going to die next. Then you got Ross. Ross, he's going to die of some sort of, like, it'll be not a sickness, but a faulty valve in his heart, like a heart failure or like a brain aneurysm kind of thing. But it's going to be it kind of came out of nowhere and killed him. That's how Ross is going to die. Then who do we got? So we got 3 dead now. There's 3 more. Who am I missing in my head? We got Phoebe, and then you got Joey. Which one? Chandler's dead. Chandler's fucking dead. Who am I missing? Is it 5 friends? I thought it was 3 girls and 3 guys. Yes. So we got Joey, Chandler, Ross. So it's fucking. I'm totally lost here. We got Jennifer Aniston dead. where she's gonna die. She's not gonna die. No, Courtney Cox dies next. Okay, no, yeah, that's why, because I did 4 already. So we got 1 dead already. Then it's gonna be Courtney Cox. Then it's gonna be Ross. Then Jenny, I think, goes. Then Jenny. Jenny's gonna be the one. No, Jenny goes second last. Then no, I think it could Jenny dies next, because the final 2 will be Lisa Kudrow and Joey. Those are going to be the final 2 that stand the test of time, okay? I truly think it's going to be who dies last from that crew. And I think it'll probably be Lisa Kudrow. Women just tend to live longer. But there is something about Joey's laissez-faire attitude. But I think he's not I think he's the kind of guy he's like, oh, I don't even want to live that long. 80's good. And Lisa Kudrow she'll be like this old, she'll be a relic of a time forgotten, dude. People will go to her, if like a big EMP hits, she'll tell us about like how things were in the old video era, in the old film era when we were shooting sitcoms, and she'll have all these crazy stories. They'll do a documentary from her perspective, like the Titanic, like I remember it was like yesterday, of like what it was like being in Friends. That's what's going to happen. So I'm calling it now. We got Mathew Perry already dead. That was an easy first guess. He apparently was living the hardest and the fastest. And like I said, we can't blame the drug dealer for this, because I'm pretty sure he did K or did some sort of drug and then was floating around in his pool and drowned. That's not a drug dealer's fault for selling you the drugs. That's your fault for doing the drugs irresponsibly, I would say. Okay, so we got Joey's going to die next. Then it's going to be Courtney Cox in a plastic surgery accident. Then it's going to be Ross, faulty valve in his heart, or like some sort of thing, like he just kind of dies out of nowhere. Then we're going to get Jenny. Jenny's going to die. Jenny's going to have like a slow, long battle with some kind of disease that she didn't tell anyone about. That's how celebrities love to die. Then we got Joey's just going to kind of die. Joey's going to be like 80 and be like, yeah, he was an 80-year-old man. He was, yeah, he was hanging out with his family. The crazy part is he was just hanging out with his kids the other day and he just didn't wake up. It's going to be really like low key. He's eating whatever his pasta, provolone, whatever the fuck. I'm pretty sure he's Italian. Maybe I'm just putting on that from the show. Lisa Kudrow will live for fucking ever, dude. She'll be like a Betty White kind of feature. She's going to live for so long that I think she gets famous again. Lisa Kudrow is going to have like a run in her like when she's like 75. They're going to be like, Lisa Kudrow's still fucking alive, dude. Maybe it's that flashback documentary that brings her into, and then she has like another run of her career as like an old lady. That's what I'm calling for her. Okay, but anyways, we have our write-in who says, I bought K from the drug dealer that killed Mathew Perry. Oh. Okay, so then I asked for a follow-up, obviously. I went to pick up for a musician I was working for after I landed in LA. He was very nice, LOL. Her place, she was very nice. Oh, so it's a lady. It was a lady drug dealer. Her place was filled to the brim, full of maximalist art, filled to the brim, full maximalist art collection, a few of those bear sculptures that go for a ton. So much David Bowie, Clash, classical rock signed albums, posters, house music playing nonstop. Gave me a bump of K because it would take her a second to get everything. Okay, so that's such good customer service. I can't even believe that. You show up at the drug dealer's house, they've got a cool as fuck place. That's kind of their job, is like celebrity drug dealer, which is like, I mean, if you are doing something in a field, if you can work it into, I do it now for celebrities, that's kind of a dream job, because you're doing the same amount of work, but then you get to be able to charge like astronomical numbers for all this stuff. And you're like, oh, because the quality is so good, which I'm sure the quality of her shit must be top tier if one of her clients is Mathew Perry. But she has all this signed stuff, so she's been like probably partying and in this like rock and roll, because all these guys like to do drugs. David Bowie, Clash, classic rock albums, all that kind of stuff. These guys all like to do drugs, so I'm assuming that she's been dealing to these guys forever, or maybe it's a family business. Maybe that gets passed down. Maybe her mom was a big drug dealer and was like, blowing Sting or something, and then selling the drugs at the same time. And she was like, I don't know if she raised her daughter to blow Sting, but she raised her daughter to sell the drugs. But that is good customer service. I have never, ever, ever in my life had that where I'm waiting for the dealer, maybe in weed, but I was never a big weed guy. But maybe it's like, yeah, you pick up some weed and they're like, oh, you want to hit, you want to puff, you want to hit a bowl, you want to fucking toke a bong or like some shit like that. That could be the case. But a bump of K while you wait. Would you like a bump of K while you're waiting, please? It's going to take me a minute. So here, just have a quick bump. She gets stuff together, gives it to me, asked me if I want anything else. I said, what do you have? And she says, everything. I asked for Adderall. LOL, she gives it to me. I give her $10. And then she says it's the highest grade methamphetamine pressed into this pill. And I'm too much on ketamine to say I don't want meth. I want Adderall. So I'm like, perfect. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. I'm like, perfect. Thank you so much. That's great. That is, you know what? I couldn't ask for anything more. You know, I wanted Adderall. She goes, here's the best meth you could possibly get. And you go, you know what? You've been such a kind host up until this point. I couldn't possibly imagine to ask for anything more. So bless your sweet, sweet, beautiful heart. I will take this meth and I will enjoy it. I will fucking enjoy it. I leave and I'm like, fuck it. I take the meth and started the Wait. I'm like, fuck it. I take the meth and started the California wildfires. No, I threw it away. Oh, okay. I was like, I take the meth and started the California wildfire. I was like, whoa. This is taking a way darker turn than killing Mathew Perry, dude. Way darker turn. But no, okay, he says, no, I threw it away, LOL. But will say aside of me from the meth... but will say, aside from the meth Adderall thing, lovely person. Okay, no threw it away, but I will say, aside from the meth Adderall thing, a lovely person. However, I do see how that could be a big deal for a guy like Mathew Perry. Yeah, okay, that's the end of it right there. Okay, so I guess you knew, this still was a very, very juicy story, but I should have known, like, how did you know this was the drug dealer that, I guess... You're going to pick up, whoever this musician was that you're grabbing grabbing drugs for, grabbing ketamine for. I guess she just works in those circles, you know? She's just working in the circles, dude. And like I said, you can't blame her for killing Mathew Perry. Mathew Perry, he made choices. He was a big boy. Okay, next writing, guys. My ex-roommate, the dominatrix, was Jewish. She pegged me while choking me with a real Nazi belt. Okay, I think I might actually need... Hold on. I got to grab my phone real quick. Okay, because I'm realizing there is a part that I forgot to include in the doc that's in my phone, but I want to put in the doc right now because I followed up with him because my main thing, I went, this is stupid. This is not real. And then he told me some shit that made me go, maybe a real. It could be real. It could be a real story. Okay. Here it is. Hold on. Is this it? No, that's not it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Add. Okay. So, met a girl on TikTok. Okay, let's do the title again. My roommate my roommate, the dominatrix, was Jewish. She pegged me while choking me with a Nazi belt. Met a girl on TikTok while I was living in Virginia. We talked twice before I moved down. While living there, she told me she was Jewish, and I said, okay, cool. I told her I'll send my Nazi collection home. Usually you say something like that, it's like a playful, I wouldn't say playful joke. It's a risky ass joke where you're like, If this hits, we're in Pussy Town. If I miss with this, that I'll never see this pussy again. It's a big swing, dude. You're doing a Babe Ruth. You're calling your shot. You're going, this is going out there. And if you miss, you look like a fool, dude. But if you hit it, you go, that Nazi line works every time. And I told her to send my Nazi collection home. She got turned on by it. Boom! There you see it go into the stands. Oh my God, what a beautiful swing that was. Decided to dress up in leather and take the belt and peg me while she spanked me and choked me with it. And I was like, I followed up with this guy because this was the follow-up. But then I was like, hold on, this has to be a bullshit story. Oh, you just so happen to have, or she so happens to have a Nazi belt that she's choking me with. I was like, where did she get the Nazi belt? And he goes, no, it was mine. And I go, okay, where did you get the Nazi belt? Because I'm like, he's like, I collect Nazi. I was like, why do you have a Nazi's belt? That you can't just get Nazi's belts. Like that I would assume is very hard to find. And he goes, oh, I collect that stuff. And I was like, what do you mean? Where do you collect it? And then he sends me links to 2 websites, Historic Hunter Auctions and, hold on, what's this other one? Why does it keep like not fitting it into the thing? Okay, sorry. This is like really eating up way too much space. Okay. And then the second one is, the Ruptured Duck. Original World War II German and U.S. militia. Militaria for sale. I've never seen that word before. Militaria. I guess it's like military memorabilia. Militaria. But yeah, so he sends me these 2 websites and I go, oh shit, this is real. This guy actually goes and collects Nazi stuff. And then the gears start turning where I'm like, oh my God. Is this like a villainous person? Someone who's collecting Nazi stuff? Like, are you collecting Nazi stuff because you're like, yeah, the Nazis are sick? But then I'm like, oh no, he let a Jewish lady spank him with a Nazi belt and then choke him with a Nazi belt and then peg him. Oh, crazy enough that made me go, oh, he's a good guy. That made me be like, he's a safe person. He's a nice person. He's not doing anything too dangerous. It's purely, I can understand someone having an interest in World War II to the point where they want to collect things like that. There was that Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura thing where I think Tom got Bert a teacup, that there was a very good chance that Hitler drank out of this teacup based on all the things. And I remember Bert saying, he's like, oh, I thought he got me something from... what was it? Who's that guy? Winston Churchill. And he's like, no, Hitler, dude. I got you a Hitler fucking teacup, dog. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool gift. So yeah, it's not crazy for people who want to collect that kind of stuff. And yeah, if you're willing to get pegged by a Jewish lady, I don't think you're going out in the streets and then, you're telling me this story and kind of being like, haha, this is goofy. So you're chill with it. Yeah. I support the getting pegged and using the Jewish chick using the Nazi belt to choke you and peg you. There's some sort of like poetic justice in that. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's some level of revenge. I think you gained karmic points for that. I think in the long run, I think people will say you're a good person. I don't know for sure though. Okay, that's another one. Okay, then we got this right in. Message me for the full story. Or message me for the full secret. Just found out my buddy and his dad been having threesomes. I told you guys, we aren't coming up short this week when it comes to write-ins. We are juicy as fuck on the write-ins this week. All right, here we go. A couple years ago, my buddy and his dad got divorced around the same time. Oh, linked up divorces. You're obviously close with your dad. My buddy moved back into his friend's house. They turned it into a bachelor pad. My buddy was 55. Wait, into his friend's house. Yeah, my buddy was 50. My buddy was 55 at the time, and his dad was 55. Or no, my buddy was 30 at the time and his dad was 55. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. But yeah, my buddy moved back into his friend's house. They turned into a bachelor pad. Do you mean my buddy moved back to his dad's house? Is that what you meant to write? Because that would make more sense. They turned into a bachelor pad. Come to find out, they're posting on Reddit and Tinder together to get chicks for threesomes. So real life father and son were having some threesomes and doing DPs. That's fucking nuts. Your balls touching your dad's balls. I mean, if it's DP, real DP, because people get confused. DP is one in the puss, one in the asshole. That's a DP. There's double vaginal and double anal. That is 2 in the ass or 2 in the pussy. And then you can do a double vag, double anal at the same time. That's 2 in the ass, 2 in the pussy simultaneously. But one on either end, that's not a DP. One like a spit roast, that doesn't count as DP. DP is 1 in the ass, 1 in the puss. So you might be confused, because a lot of people get confused on what an actual DP is. You might be confused. But even spit roasting, you're fucking a chick and you're watching your dad get his dick sucked. Whoa. I have never been that comfortable with anyone in my family. I mean, that's an extreme, but not even close. Like, not even like, I can't even think of what, like, if I was at my brother's house and he was fucking in his bedroom, like he brought a lady back, I think it would be like, hey, good for you. But while it's happening, I think it would be a little bit like, ooh. It's just the family aspect. I want everyone to perv out, but like, yeah, I think family is where you draw the line, isn't it? Is that crazy for me to say? This is out. But yeah, the point I wanted to make was, if they're doing real DPs, like if his dick is in her asshole and his dick is in her pussy, then your balls are touching, guys. Your balls and possibly your dick. You might have touched dicks with your dad. What the fuck? And they were doing it multiple times. Did the ladies know? This is where it gets crazier. Because then you go, did the chicks know? But he ended up dating one of the women that would regularly come over, and now they're married. What the fuck, dude? Are you shitting my ass and balls and dick all at the same time? Buddy ended up dating one of the women that would regularly come over, and now they're married. What the fuck did you just say to me? What the fuck did you just say to me? So this chick would come over multiple times. So some of these chicks would return to get this father-son DP. Now, did they all know going in that? Probably not. I would think you would like, oh, me and my buddy were different in age, da-da-da-da-da, we live in the same place. I think you would sell it like it's not a father-son DP, because that's a tough sell. But if this lady was coming over regularly, then she eventually, and now you're married, she would have been like, hey, who's this? Oh, you brought that guy, the guy you're doing DPs with, like he's at the wedding. And you have to be like, she'd be like, when am I going to meet your dad? It's like, oh, you actually already met him. We fucked you at the same time. Blah, 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 blah. What? ¿Qué pasó? What the fuck is going on? I think that's the marrying someone and dating someone your dad banged in front of you while you also fucked him. I can't tell if that's like a stronger love or not. That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of right now. Is that like such an intensely strong bond? How do you know your dad doesn't fuck her sometimes still? Maybe they still do. Maybe they still all fuck. What? Maybe they still all fuck. That could be a thing that is going on, guys. They could all still be fucking right now. And like, what if you want to have kids with this woman? You know, your grandpa used to fuck your mom? What? All right. Let's get to the last write-in, guys. How are we doing here? Yeah, we're ready for the final write-in. Tinder girl offered to suck my toes. Do I take her up on it? This is easy. Of all the write-ins today, this is a layup, dog. Tinder girl offers to suck my toes. Do I take her up on it? Yes. Tinder girl wants to suck a chick sucking your toes. That's great. That's easy. That's an easy fucking day at the office. Dudes are out here banging chicks in front of their dad and then with their dad and then marrying them. Dudes are getting pegged by Jews with Nazi belts. Mathew Perry is dead. You get your fucking toes sucked, dude, by a chick wants to suck your toes. That's the furthest thing away from your face and your orifices. Even if she has bad breath, you won't even know. Just get your fucking toes sucked. We're going to call this one here. This one has been a wild ride. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. If you guys want more exclusive content, go check it out all on Gas Digital right now. Bye.